I think women in the US are becoming worthless. I've been pondering this for a while, and I think I finally need to get it off my chest. I know this is going to be controversial, but bear with me. I think women in the US are worthless. Now, before you go downvoting me into oblivion, let me explain my perspective. I truly believe that society and social media have morphed a significant number of women in the USA into narcissistic psychopaths, utterly incapable of committing to relationships or family life. Don't get me wrong, I don't mean that they are without any value as human beings or that they don't have the potential to be great partners or mothers. I'm just saying that the way things are going, it seems like an increasingly small percentage of American women will be able to build a solid family life. In fact, the future looks bleak, full of deadbeat moms, social media addicts, and a parade of failed relationships. What led me to this conclusion? Well, let's start with the media. It's no secret that the media has a tremendous impact on how people perceive themselves and others. It's also no secret that media content can be toxic, especially when it comes to promoting unhealthy and unrealistic ideals of beauty and success. But that's not all. It can also promote toxic ideas about relationships and self-worth. Take Taylor Swift, for example. She's an incredibly talented musician, and I can enjoy her music as much as the next person. However, I can't help but notice the recurrent theme of man-hating and woman-empowering lyrics in her songs. Now, I'm not against empowering women. I think it's a great thing, and women should feel strong and capable. The issue here is the way it's being done, by tearing down men and promoting a culture of victimhood, where women are perpetually pitted against men in some twisted, never-ending battle. And then there's social media. I honestly believe that social media is one of the most destructive forces in modern society. It's a breeding ground for narcissism and has turned attention-seeking behavior into an acceptable, even celebrated, way of life. Women, in particular, seem to be disproportionately affected by this phenomenon. Every day, I see countless women posting pictures of themselves in various states of undress or participating in other attention-seeking behaviors, all in the name of empowerment or body positivity. But is it really empowering to base your self-worth on the number of likes or comments you receive on a scantily clad photo? I don't think so. This constant need for validation and attention on social media can easily spill over into relationships. It's becoming increasingly difficult for women to commit to one person when they have an endless supply of potential suitors waiting in the wings, all ready to shower them with praise and attention at the first sign of a crack in their current relationship. This isn't healthy, and it's making it nearly impossible for anyone to maintain a stable, long-term partnership. Now let's talk about divorce. I'm sure you've heard the statistic that around 50% of marriages in the US end in divorce. However, recent studies have shown that the rate is closer to 76% when you take into account factors such as infidelity and domestic abuse. This is a staggering number, and it's hard not to draw a connection between this and the issues I've discussed above. Why would anyone want to risk losing everything in a divorce when the odds are so heavily stacked against them? I mean, literally, if you get married to a woman in the US, there is almost a guarantee that you will be divorced and lose everything you've built up and worked for in the amount of time you were in that failed marriage. One solution that's becoming increasingly popular is to marry someone from another country. I know several guys who have done this, and they couldn't be happier. They've found partners who share their values and are committed to building a life together, without the constant need for validation from strangers on the internet. Of course, this isn't a foolproof solution, and there are undoubtedly cultural and language barriers to overcome. But it seems like a far more viable option than trying to navigate the minefield of modern American relationships. Another option to consider is moving to another country altogether. I know this might sound extreme, but hear me out. Many countries have vastly different social norms and expectations when it comes to relationships and family life. By immersing oneself in a new culture, it's possible to find a more suitable environment in which to build a stable and fulfilling life with a partner. It might not be for everyone, but it's certainly something to consider. Now, I'm not saying that every single American woman is a narcissistic psychopath incapable of commitment. Of course not. There are plenty of amazing women in this country who defy these stereotypes and are wonderful partners and mothers. But unfortunately, it seems like these women are becoming harder and harder to find, as they're drowned out by the noise of social media and the toxic messages being promoted by the media. It's also important to note that this issue isn't exclusive to women. Men, too, can fall victim to the destructive influences of social media in modern society. However, I think it's particularly troubling to see the impact this is having on women and their ability to form lasting, healthy relationships. So, what can be done? I wish I had a simple answer. But the truth is, this is a deeply ingrained problem that will likely take years, if not decades, to reverse. It starts with recognizing the problem and having honest conversations about the role media and social media play in our lives. It means being willing to challenge the status quo and question the messages being promoted, even when they come from our favorite celebrities or influencers. It also means holding ourselves and each other accountable for our actions and choices. As individuals, we have the power to choose what we consume and what we share on social media. We can choose to promote healthier, more positive messages and to be more mindful of the impact our online presence has on our relationships and self-worth. And finally, it means supporting and encouraging the women in our lives who are striving to break free from these toxic patterns. It means celebrating their successes and offering support and understanding when they struggle. It means recognizing that, while the problem may be systemic, the solution starts with each and every one of us. In conclusion, I know my opinion on this topic might be controversial and even offensive to some. However, I genuinely believe that the current state of American society and social media is contributing to a generation of women who are, in many ways, becoming worthless in terms of their ability to form and maintain healthy, committed relationships and family life. I hope that by sharing my thoughts, I can spark a conversation and perhaps inspire others to examine their own beliefs and behaviors in the pursuit of a brighter future for all. After all, the future of our country depends on the strength and stability of our families and communities. It's time to confront the challenges we face head-on and work together to create a better, more fulfilling world for ourselves and future generations. And that starts with reevaluating the messages we promote, the values we embrace, and the choices we make in our everyday lives. Do you agree with any or all of what he is saying? Do you think he is off his rocker and needs to embrace the new women's movement in the U.S.? Let us know your thoughts in the comments section below. When you subscribe, be sure to click the notification bell. Click here for more Tangled threads.